What's up, guys? Welcome back to Umineko. While I remember, I gotta turn the TV off still. Like, that's always fun. If I'll be turned off here as I start reading, so be careful. So don't worry about the background noise. That's going to be going away now. My lady, please calm yourself. There we go. Got it. We still don't know who the culprit is, and the Beatrice is an important honored guest of the Masters. So what? If we grab her by the collar, she'll definitely confess. If I can just look in her eye, I'll know. I'll see it through her. A witch Beatrice, yeah, right. I'll expose her. Jessica never stopped moving. Goda and Kenan chased after her, doing their best to convince her to stop, but Jessica never lent them an ear. Eventually, the witch's VIP room came into view. This VIP room was always sealed and never used. No matter what kind of guest came, Kinzo wouldn't let them in there, and yet the servants were always made to clean this room so that it could be used at any time. So the servants had started calling this room the witch's VIP room after the second shapeless master. Jessica knew about this too, and she couldn't forgive the arrogance of the one who called herself a witch by staying in that room. The Golden Witch was just a fairy tale. Come on, a witch. Just because she was nothing more or less than a murderer who brutally killed her parents. Question her, hear her pitiful excuses. Make her splutter in pain, gasp in anguish. No matter how hard she pretends to be a witch, I'll teach her that she's just a stinking, sweaty human. As Jessica yelled, with all her strength, she hit the door to the VIP room. It definitely wasn't a knock. The sound was the beating of her anger's hammer, as if she was determined to break the door down if it wasn't opened. Open up, Beatrice. Come out. You hear me, right? Open up. There was no answer. Jessica grabbed the doorknob without any reservation, but she felt the resistance of the lock. She turned around to look at the two servants who spoke. The master, you'll unlock this, right? Use it. Milady, that would be horribly rude. Although Godo was flustered, he still tried to somehow calm Jessica's anger. After hanging his head silently for a while, Kenan pulled a master key from his jacket pocket. Kenan said, are you sure? Yes, I'm fully aware it would be rude if she happens to be in there. At any rate, if Beatrice had nothing to do with that incident at all, she has to do is give us a satisfying explanation. That's right, exactly. Let me borrow that. Jessica snatched the master key from Kenan's hand and violently shoved it into the keyhole. Immediately, there was a small sound and she felt the lock click. Then, without asking permission, she flung the door open. Beatrice, where are you? Come out. Jessica really stepped into the room. The witch was anywhere to be seen. That bitch, she's not here. Where the hell she go? Yeah, she doesn't seem to be here. Jessica figured she might be hiding somewhere inside the room, peeked behind the curtains and under the bed, but she couldn't find anyone. However, there definitely was signs that the bed had been used, and though it was only a vague sense, the atmosphere in the room felt a little soft. It was at the hard atmosphere of a place normally devoid of people like the chapel. You could definitely tell someone had spent the night in this room, but she could not be seen. In reality, neither Jessica nor Goda had met Beatrice. They only had been told by those who had met her that she looked like a double of the character in that portrait, so they were doubtful about what her face really looked like. However, Kenan alone had met her. She understood the kind of being that witch was, what kind of personality she had, so he knew that forcing their way in search for her definitely wouldn't work out. She must be watching us bitterly flail about in vain from somewhere, sneering at us. She's that kind of person. Because she was looking at things that way, Kenan was the first to find it. The other two were concentrating on finding the shadow of a person so they didn't notice. Near a water jug on a side table, there was a single sheet of letter paper. On it was a short message, and nearby was a fountain of pen, which had probably been used to write it. Kane had already come to understand the witch. After finding the corpses, they'd been overcome by rage and barged in here, only to find no one. So, of course, the witch would mock them. You can't mock someone unless they know they're being mocked. So, in other words, that must be Milady. There's something written here. Something written what? Jessica dashed over and violently snatched a piece of paper away. She probably wasn't trying to be violent. She just couldn't control her strength right now. What the? Don't fuck with me. As soon as she read the message, Jessica went into a wild rage, crumpled the paper up, went through it. And she grabbed his light stand by the bedside and violently swung it around, mercilessly hitting the walls of furniture with it. The light bulbs all shuddered at once, and the fragments were scattered across the room. Milady, please calm down, or you'll hurt yourself. Let's go, damn it. Come out, Beatrice. How could you do that to Mom and Dad? You think you scare me? I'll kill you. I'll beat you to death, so show yourself. I told you to let go of me, damn it. This was written on the paper. Did you think I'd be that senile to just sit around here waiting for you to come barging in? You're way too inelegant for this intellectual night. I can only imagine what the parents who raised you to be such a moron must have looked like. Alright, I saw them, and they looked just as moronic as you. Now their bellies are full and land of sweets. It was the sort of thing which would right and meant to be predicted that one of the children lost their parents would come running in here. If she sighted someone, assumed she must be rolling around laughing now. The witch was that kind of person. She sneered at people's misfortune, used it to stave off the boredom of 1,000 years. And then over, I'm telling you, you'll hurt yourself. I told you to let go, damn it. Goda snatched away the light stand Jessica had been holding. After all, if she kept swinging it around, she might end up smashing it against something which could cause serious injury. To Goda's eyes, Jessica probably looked mad with rage, burning herself up with the flames of anger, but Kanan's eyes saw it differently. There were probably tears of sadness hidden by rage, so when the light stand was taken from Jessica, when she started to cry on the floor, scratching at the carpet almost as though she was groveling, Goda was surprised, but Kanan was not. Of course, she had lost her means of crime by lashing out in rage. Ooh, damn mom, Considering that she was the daughter of the Ushiramiya head family, she was in a very shabby state. She scratched at the carpet with her fingernails, even her feet were scratching. Jessica cried very, very hard, because if she didn't, her rage would start building up again, swelling her up. But Jessica, over and over again, she remembered that humiliating message. I can only imagine what the parents who raised you to be such a moron must have looked like. Don't you call them morons? Both Dad and Mom were smart. Unlike me, they were really smart. Don't you call them morons? Take it back. Take it back. Alright, I saw them and they looked just like as moronic as you. Now their bellies are full in the land of sweets. Damn it. I'll kill her. I'll slice open her stomach and see how she likes it. As Jessica cried and screamed, she triggered an asthma attack. The servants watching over her hurriedly ran up to her and rubbed her back, but that only provoked Jessica's wrath. What the hell? If you got the time to do that, search for that bastard. Find him and bring him here. If you won't go, I will, and I'll kill him with my own hands. I'll slice open her stomach. Don't touch me, damn it. Jessica got up unsteadily, and as her asthma continued, she went out into the hallway. Immediately your medicine, quickly. I will call Dr. Nansho. Goda-san, would you leave this to me? Ken had noticed. Goda, who was vastly separated from her in age, probably could insist the tears in Jessica's heart. Kenan, who had noticed, had to be the one to support her. Kenan-san, are you sure? I believe my lady needs some time to cry right now, considering that she saw her parents killed like that. You are right. Goda also understood, and he knew that Jessica and Kenan had shared a vague relationship with each other, so he understood everything and left it to Kenan. Very well, I will go back to Rosa-sama. Please take care of my lady. Yes, leave it to me. Kenan's voice was frail, but he nodded firmly. After looking at his eyes, Goda nodded firmly as well. Goda was a veteran with many years behind him. He'd seen a great number of people in his life, so he knew the vigorous sparkle that could be found in the eyes of those who possessed self-control. He surely had seen that in Kenan's eyes. So he would leave this to Kenan. When you think about it, maybe it was the first time Goda had ever trusted Kenan and relied on him for a job. Jessica was still suffering from her asthma and seemed to be heading towards her room. Though she kept leaning against the wall, Kenan followed her wordlessly. If she asked for a hand, he would have leapt forward and supported her. But until Jessica did ask for that, he chose to hide himself, watching over her from a distance where he could come to rescue her at any time. When people feel their hearts are about to explode from sadness and want to have someone by their sides, you can be 10 billion of them will want to turn around and find someone in the place Kenan stood now, as he watched over Jessica from behind. Then finally she doubled over in the front of the door to her room. The asthma attack had stolen all her strength, and her thoughts had gotten hazy from the lack of oxygen, making it impossible to even stand up again. But right then, Jessica didn't think she wanted someone to lend a hand. She still hadn't been able to overcome the flames of anger. Even if someone had offered her a hand with good intentions, Jessica would have wanted to tear it right off then. She knew how unfair that would be. She definitely wouldn't ask for help until she overcame the fiery anger burning inside. Jessica probably lost the willpower even to call for help, but Kenan heard it. He definitely heard it. Kenan definitely heard that voiceless call for help, one shut by miserable grievers the world around. An endless scream that no one could ever seems to hear. Kenan quietly knelt by Jessica's side and mercilessly offered her his shoulder. Though Jessica kept coughing painfully, she accepted it, unlocked the door to her room, and entered. This way. I'll prepare your medicine right away. Jessica often said that with her asthma got serious and never hurt so bad that I felt like she vomited up her own stomach. Her face was pale and her gaze wavered, and yet the coughing continued. Even so, her sadness was probably even stronger. After having her sit on the bed, Kenan took a bronchodilator from a cute little basket on a nearby side table and handed it to her. Jessica sometimes forgot to take her medicine with her. Whenever this seemed to happen, Ken would take notice and secretly carry around the inhaler from the first aid kit in the servant room, but he hadn't done so today. He scolded himself as though wondering how he would call himself furniture after failing to bring it with him on a day like this. Then he remembered the day when he used that word and somehow betrayed Jessica's feelings. It jarred Cannon's heart, but it felt like it would be indiscreet to think about something like that now, considering how Jessica felt now. And he locked it up inside the depths of his heart. Ha ha ha. When she inhaled her medicine, Jessica's wild breathing calmed down bit by bit, and she was finally able to regain her composure. But she lost too much strength and willpower to get up from the bed. Are you alright, milady? I'm alright. I'm all messed up over Mom and Dad, but after I cry a bit more, I'll be alright. Kenan regretted his portress of words. Did he really say, are you alright to her? Was he really that clueless of the pain in her heart? This was what made him furniture. This is why he couldn't become human. I will be in the corridor. If you need anything, please call me immediately. Kenan understood that she still needs some time to cry alone. He told her to call him at any time, bowed, and tried to leave the room. Do you need something? Jessica had spoken up as though she wanted to stop, so Kenan had stopped. If she asked, I'll do anything I can to help her. Right now, I've become even a cane or a chair if it would help to ease the pain in her heart. By doing that, I could make up for the pain I dealt to her heart on that day. For a while, Jessica stared into Cannon's eyes. It was so her reason for stopping him was something she couldn't put into words. For a while, neither spoke. Jessica broke that silence with a small voice. I'm sorry, it's nothing. Could you tell Aunt Rose that I want to be alone for a while? I won't let you be alone. Huh? I won't let you be alone. So I will be in the corridor. Please call for me at any time. But just an instant, it looked like there's some kind of hope had flitted into Jessica's eyes. But it was very faint and disappeared like the first snow on the surface of a river. Thanks, let me cry alone just for a bit. Yes, excuse me. Can't bow once again, close the door. He thought those words would give her some courage. But now it felt as though they actually hurt her for some reason. Why, he didn't know. Surely this was because he was furniture. That was why he couldn't grasp human sadness even now. Kenan repeatedly questioned himself when he walked down the corridor. He felt like the wind of the corridor's aim was coolly calling to him. In the end, it might not be more than furniture. After all, he was still pointing outside a dark gray world. Even on days like this, Shannon would surely see the ocean and know it was blue. But to my eyes, even if it cleared up, I would only see gray. I can understand the blue ocean. Until I can understand the blue ocean, I will be nothing but furniture imitating a person. You don't really understand a woman's heart, do you? At times like that, you have to be silently remain by her side. Cackle, cackle, that's why you're furniture. There shouldn't be any trace of human life in this corridor. Had it been an empty corridor filled with frigid air, but those scoffing words approached Kenan from behind. When he turned around, he saw that witch who hadn't shown herself when Jessica had searched for her with a rage bordering on madness, and who had left a sneering letter to toy with Jessica. There are three ways to hurt a woman, let me teach you that. One is to hurt them with a blade, another to win their heart, and the last way is the most difficult and most effective method of hurting them, and yet it can be hurt them without you even realizing it. Do you know what I mean? How could I know? I don't want to even know. It's to betray their expectations. You know, living being is more of a dreamer than a woman. They make up dreams for their own and end up hurting their own selves. A distant man like you hurts women the most. You couldn't understand. You have no idea how deeply you've wounded Jessica. After all your furniture, cackle, cackle, cackle. I had no intention of playing along with your nonsense. Did you appear only to sneer at me? Don't be so full of yourself, furniture. You aren't worth sneering at. Cackle, cackle. Still, though you may not be worthy of my time on your own, if the two of you go gather, that's all I need. The pleasure that comes from laughing at the face of young couples never tires me. What did you say? You don't mean my lady's going to be. I need two who are close for the sacrifice at the second twilight. The two of you are truly convenient. Wait, don't misunderstand. My lady and I don't have that kind of relationship. We can't be sacrifices for the second twilight. Cackle, cackle. That's why you hurt Jessica. That's why you cannot become a human. Then there should be no problem. If you want me, you have feelings for Jessica, I can accept that. But I will kill her. Why? You idiot, isn't it obvious? It'll be fun to kill her and see your face twist in pain. Why else? Following the rules of this ceremony, only 13 people will be sacrificed on my whims. However, there's no rule that says I can't kill more. If it amuses me, I can kill any number of people, so I will make me laugh as hard as I can. Get in the furniture. At that time, Ken definitely heard Jessica scream. When he blinked to look down the corridor, the witch who had supposedly been there so nonchalantly just a second ago was gone. At that moment, he was just standing there all alone in the corridor doing nothing, and the person he wanted to protect was asking for help from far away in that direction. It was obvious what he should do. It wasn't logical. It was an electric reflex without a trace of hesitation or distraction. There was a person he wanted to protect, and she was asking for help, and at that moment, he genuinely wanted the person to be by her side by him. Oh, she's gonna die, isn't she? When he flew into Jessica's room, the scene that greeted his eyes was a bizarre one. The room had become a fantastical world where a blizzard of gold-colored specks danced, almost as though a gold leaf had been scattered inside a snow globe. No, that's not it. I've seen a spectacle before. This is a golden leaf. It's a countless golden butterflies, breaches, and minions. Jessica was surrounded by countless butterflies, waving their hands around, trying frantically to drive them away. My lady, can help? Ken rushed towards Jessica and violently brushed the cloud of butterflies away. The butterflies, which were sickening despite their beauty, surrounded Jessica's face and clawing through her mouth and nose. Jessica choked violently, almost as if the butterflies were triggering an asthma attack, mocking her. But Ken ran towards her. The butterflies stopped attacking and began to dance an elegant rondo around the pair. Kennekan. It's okay, while they're still alive for me, I won't let anyone lay a finger on you. Come out, Beatrice, are you happy now? As he stood in guard in front of Jessica, who was using her inhaler, he seemed to be in pain. Kenan yelled into the empty air. And when he did, the empty air did indeed laugh back, satisfied. Oh, wow. And as she showed herself, it wasn't in response to Kenan's demands. It was obviously because she appearing and staring would bring them even more humiliation, and plus it was more fun. And she changed outfits in that short amount of time. Ha ha ha, now everything fixes the plot. Now you're a carp on the chopping board. No, since we got a pair of you, you should call it duck with green onions. You, Beatrice, please stand back. I'll protect you, my lady. When the princess and I come together, it's inevitable that the witch will appear. Yes, why don't you show me how much power Kinsel's furniture can muster? She snapped her fingers at the piercing sound. When she did, a blizzard of gold butterflies was stirred up and then began to form a small mountain as they whirled around in a circle. It was just like the swirling of a cold, wintry wind that built up a mountain of leaves. From that mountain of gold, a hand sprouted, and it appeared as though a resident of the world below was crawling up from beneath the ground. What is this? What the hell is this? Jessica couldn't comprehend what she was seeing right now, and her mouth kept flapping open and closed. It was a bit of wisdom seeing a nose trying to understand something incomprehensible. Whoa. Okay, this is... Wow. Are they really going with this? He has the eagle crest, too. The thing calling out was probably an attendant who served the witch. It appeared to be wearing a uniform suitable for one who served, but his face was wrong. It looked strange. It was covered with pitch black hair, breathed rotten breath, and his eyes were filled with the same strange subterranean glow as lava. And to symbolize its non-human status, it had two horns. It was the figure of a goat-faced attendant who served the witch. By now, Jessica had no idea what she should say, and all this happening in front of her couldn't be explained with common sense, as she couldn't do anything except open and close her mouth. Jessica didn't realize that this island had already been cut off from the rules of our world. But there were some things that even she could understand. This gold attendant served the witch, and it was after her life. And apparently the witch had already given it to the order. She was looking at Ken with an expectant gaze. She looked at him with an expectant and therefore challenging gaze, as though asking him how he intended to protect this maiden. Though the attendant had looked especially beastile, while calling to its feet, you could see the way it carried itself that possessed more than enough grace to be worthy of serving the Golden Witch, and you could tell that it was overflowing with the joy of furniture, wanting to meet its master's expectations. Well then, why don't you show me? Let's see the power of Kinsel's furniture. This time, don't get the wrong idea, okay? Don't forget that your furniture, got it? If you try to continue playing the human even now, this won't be settled by your death alone. The good attendant made what seemed to be a silent, respectful bow. Was it directed at Miss Master, or was it offered to Ken and its opponent? Then on the attendant's hand, a blade of wicked malice appeared. Oh, what the hell is that? Just got unable to understand what was happening before her eyes for a while now. All she understood was that the glow in front of her existed for the purpose of ending her life, and right now that was enough. Kenan spoke quietly to Jessica, who was hiding behind his back. My lady, please stay back against the wall. Never let your back leave the wall. What? Kako Kako is only right for the maiden to obediently hide behind the great knight's back. I do hope you enjoy your pleasure of having your life protected by a man. Now, Kenan, let's have a look at your blade. We have a blade? Or maybe not. Unless she gives us one. Oh, she gives us one. Or maybe we already had it all along. I don't know. Beautiful. At least when it comes to giving birth to furniture, Kenzo might even reach up as far as my feet. A thing like this, it can be used to trim the roses, Canon-kun. I didn't even want to show you. So you're taking it out. How does it feel to expose your subhumanity in front of the girl you care for? Be silent. So you'll act composed even though you're really burning with the wrath. Yes, I do say that truly hot flames burn a cool blue. Is that how you are now? There's no way I could kill you with my power. You are the moon. I could never smash the moon by throwing a rock. However, in order to manifest yourself, you have to reflect your image off the surface of the water. If you throw a rock at the surface of the water, you might be able to disturb the moon's image for some time. But that doesn't mean the moon has been smashed. So until this life of mine is over, I'll keep on striking your reflection. I like a cannon, begin furniture. Uh-oh, that face looks like we got stabbed or something. I don't know. It's fading to black. Ooh. Okay, that's kind of cool. I mean, I'm sure they're just still images being placed back and forth, but like in a really short amount of time, so it looks like an epic battle or something. That's still pretty cool. Anyway, what a beautiful curve. The witch's words of admiration broke the silence. Just for an instant, they broke Jessica's paralysis. Am I dreaming? Come, furniture of the witch. I'll beat you down to hell you came from. So it's gonna keep going on, or what? Oh, there's blood. A strand of red blood left on Kenan's cheek. The witch saw this and grinned broadly. Cackle, cackle. Feel free to mutter excuses, but your instincts still haven't returned quite yet. Kenan can stay strong. It's okay. I won't die just yet. Ooh, nice. This game doesn't do too bad for effects on a vision level. Whoa! We're dead. The curve drawn by the Goten's blade drew a large arc in empty space. Kenan wasn't there. He was behind it. Or maybe not? Okay. Go back and wait your master's return. Die. Maybe it wasn't cut in half. Maybe that was just a time-space thingy. I don't know. If this battle of drawing sparkling curves was chess, and Kenan coming from behind was check, and press, using several moves and making a mate. Perhaps the Goten had been even granted the ability to go into death throes. As the seeds buckled and fell all over, it broke into a bunch of gold butterflies with a pop. So there was no sign of it hitting the ground, even though, unable to understand this battle, it surely realized that Kenan had been magnificent. So it couldn't win against a handmade piece. It seems like you aren't quite that pathetic. Your next, Beatrice. And now he's gonna die because he attacked Beatrice instead of just walking away. The instant cannon blade sliced diagonally through the witches from a knife like through butter, she turned gold and burst. She scattered into several thousand gold butterflies, and for just an instant, the room filled with the color of twilight. It was just as Kenan said it himself. Slicing bitches is the same as slicing the surface of water where the moon was reflected. The witch's form was with an ordinary expression on his face, was as though she had been there the whole time and was right behind Kenan. She gonna get mad and kill us? I don't know. You provided quite an entertaining show. Out of respect for that, I thought about letting you off the hook, but your rudeness now has made me change my mind. Don't lie, I won't let you kill my lady, even if that's impossible. I won't let you kill her while I still live. You can't even do that much. Do not speak furniture. Be selling furniture. Know your place, furniture. Kenan isn't furniture. Oh, and what makes you think that? I don't need a reason. Kenan is Kenan-kun. No, his real name's different, but a name doesn't make him furniture. Kenan-kun is his own way of living. That's no noble thing. A noble thing is something he gets to decide for himself. You say he can't have an opinion because he's furniture, then that he can't live his own life because he's furniture. That's wrong. Millie, you must have provoked her. Now I've got to make this clear. Kenan-kun isn't furniture, he's human. Why? Kenan-kun rushed to save me of his own free will, and he stood in the path of fearsome witch like you. He had so many chances to let me go, but he didn't. Self-sacrifice is a part of the noble spirit that only humans have. That means Kenan-kun's human, so take it back. Don't you call Kenan-kun furniture again. My lady. Cackle, cackle. Mwahaha. So be silent, human. Listen this quickly, since it's just a second twilight after all. Now I shall sacrifice the two who are close, who have acknowledged each other's dignity. Well then, arise, please forgive the sin, one of the 7 stakes of purgatory lust. The witch summoned her furniture with a mixture of laughter and anger on her face. Ooh. Asmodeus of lust, right here. I've had enough of this farce. Quickly execute the second twilight. Don't keep me waiting, got it? As you command. Another waiter's shown up. The cook can't less than an instant to understand. Go face 1 second ago had been nothing more than a pawn to the witch. However, this newly summoned furniture was a game piece with a vastly different value. Well, I must be lucky to be given such a wonderful prey. Giggle, giggle. You scared? How cute. Come, furniture of the witch. I won't be killed by you. You're acting pretty smart for a dance who came and followed me with his eyes. Here I go, Kay. Hey, where do you want it? Where do you want me to pierce you? Answer me, cutie. I'll pierce you wherever you want. Come answer me, cutie. Don't call me cute. Kia, ha ha ha. Here I go, you dunce. Come on, try and follow me, you blind idiot. Maybe we will die this time. Man, I just saw blood. Milady. Oh, is Jessica dying? That would be new. Hey, I couldn't follow with my eyes, but my guess was spot on. Serves you right. Canon's back had been the target. Jessica predicted it. She predicted that the witch target would be the complete opposite of fair and honest. His back. But she had no way to block it. She didn't plan on it being some act of self-sacrifice. She just couldn't think of any other way to protect Kenan's back. So she could do nothing but block it with her own back. The furniture of the witch, which had changed its form into a demon stake, was buried into Jessica's back. It was an obviously fatal wound that reached as far as her lungs. When she saw this, the witch let out a loud, evil laugh, because it had hit where the witch had predicted. Everything was as the witch had predicted. What's wrong, Kenan? My lady just got killed while you still lived, didn't she? Yes, that's it. That look on your face is what I wanted to see. How truly enjoyable. That's enough. Die, make me laugh. Come, arise, forgive the sin, one of the 7 stakes of purgatory wrath. Ooh, enough wrath here, right here. This prey is yours. Eat him up right now and close the curtains on his stage. If you were a human, I'd say it's time for you to step down, but since you're furniture, maybe I should say it's time for the stage manager to carry you behind the stage. I'm not furniture anymore. I won't doubt that again. Well, what's this? You want to be killed by me again? Your chest is so warm. It feels so good to pierce it. Come on, let me have another taste, okay? Why don't you make me feel really good with that hot, fresh blood in the warm chest of yours? Yeah, ha 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 ha. So was she only kill Kenan in the first chapter? Huh. There was no way to block it. The sound of a woodpecker filled the entire room, and before he could blink, he was already right in the center of his chest. When you take a piece in chess, the rules say that it's impossible for your opponent's piece to defend itself. So this is an obvious result in accordance with the rules. Kenan leaned on his knees, and he apologized, not to the witch, and not to my lady. He apologized to Jessica. I'm sorry. I couldn't protect you. Don't worry about it. You were really cool. Kenan finally fell over. He leaned next to Jessica, and the two lay there like the constellation Gemini. You know, Kenan, you aren't furniture anymore. Yes, I was too late in realizing that. I wanted to ask you what your real name was. My real name is, his last one was Kenan. I wanted to tell her his real name, but Jessica had already fallen into a sleep from which she would never awake. So Kenan's real name, which had been protected until today, in the end, he couldn't tell to Jessica. I became Hugh. Those were his last words Kenan left behind. And maybe we'll learn his real name in chapter 3 or 4. Or I could just Google it, but that would ruin the experience. And before spoilers in the comments. Anyway, don't make me laugh, furniture. Even after 100 years, furniture will be furniture. Have you ever heard of anyone stupid enough to dig a grave for their furniture when they throw it away? We smashed furniture into pieces to make fireworks. That's all that's left is ashes. Cackle, cackle, that's how it is. Furniture gets no tombstone. It seems you believe death means an end to your humiliation, but that's naive. I'll show you what it really means to disgrace the dead. Cackle, cackle. As I'm taking a puff from her pipes, the witch breathed the smoke that Cannon's corpse. When she did, Cannon's corpse softly floated into the air and disappeared as though he had been eaten by a mouth in empty space. The witch played dirty until the very end. The corpses of a pair who managed to understand each other and were not even permitted to be close. If someone had been watching, they'd probably say mournfully, so this is what you meant by disgracing the dead. However, Beatrice was far crueler than that. The reason for that would soon become apparent. I'm still in the mood to read, so, I'm going to keep this video going. I'm going to save, though, just, in case the game crashes or something. I'm in the mood to read. My throat isn't that sore yet, so, I see, so it has begun. Oh, yeah, save. Alright. Yes. Even though Kinzo received news of 6 deaths, his emotions did not waver. The expression on his face as he gazed out the window was a smile, as though his opponent in the chess game had just made a spectacular move. It was hard to imagine that such an expression could even appear on a father who had lost so many children at once. Goda and Cannon followed Rosa-sama's orders and went to call the police. After that, she ordered us to follow your orders, Master. What shall we do? Their cell already been cut off in the real world. Mere phones will serve no purpose. Should I have them stop? Until the relays finished, what they do to pass the time is up to them. Let them do as they please. Yes, sir. What should we tell Rosa-sama? The knight said they should pass the time as they please. Can they sing if they want, dance if they want. They're even free to hang themselves by the neck or jump into a boiling kettle. Until 3 people die, they can spend their time as they like. If that's too boring, they can wonder about whether 6 times 9 equals 42 or something. That's the answer to the mystery of the humanity in the universe. Yes, my apologies. Shannon cowered and frightened at the sudden rage. Genji made a gesture as though telling her not to speak out of turn. Shannon couldn't help but regret saying too much. However, you two are free to do as you wish. Genji, and Shannon too, you have done well serving me until today. Your words are too good for me, but we are furniture who sworn to serve the master. We stand ready to serve you no matter the time, until the very end. I want to tell you about everything. Shannon, I'm going to write a will. I shall need you to transcribe it for me, please, Genji, my usual drink. Yes, sir. Nanjo often recommended that Kenzo write a will because of his health, but each time Kenzo had gone out of rage. But ever since then, you will think will would have been the word Kenzo hated the most. However, after hearing such a word come from his lips, Shannon couldn't help but doubt in her ears for an instant. Shannon hurriedly prepared the side table and some writing paper. Genji followed his orders and began preparing that usual evil green drink. I'm ready. Where should I begin? I shall also speak of my life. It would be fun to leave behind a record of my most memorable games. It can be truly amusing to read the records of old games from centuries past, to journey in search of those players' thoughts. So should the game record of my life lead those in the future to go on a journey in search for my thoughts. For a while, Kenzo pondered over where he should begin, strutting all over the room with his hands behind his back. Master, here. Ah, yes, thank you, my friend. Well, then, if I am to speak of my life, I must begin writing my meeting with that witch. Shannon began writing. My fingers met with Beatrice. My first meeting took place a long way back. What year of the show era was it? Must have been at the very end of the war, so... Ooh, excuse me. We took long enough to regain our calm, and we each swore to our parents that we'd catch the culprit. It would be a lie to say we weren't still tore up. Even now, if we let our guards down just a little, we'd probably start going on a rampage, just like Jessica, letting our mouths to show some kind of violence. According to what Goda's son said after he got back, right now, Kennen was looking after Jessica. Apparently, she was still very emotionally high-strung. I see, thank you. Potato. Anyway, maybe a young kid would be better at understanding a young kid's feelings. He'll find it'd be better if he left him alone for now. Rosa-san, there's nothing more to be gained by remaining here. The phones may not be working, but tomorrow the boat will come and we should be able to reach the police. We should leave this place as it is for the police investigation. I agree with Dr. Nacho. Staying in a place like this for too long will be bad for your health. Let's return and make some black tea. Yeah, I agree with that. Batluka and George, are you ready? Let's talk up here. We have to leave this place as it is anyway for when the police come. You're right, Batluka, are you okay? Yeah, I've cried all I can. I'm fine now. The police will surely find some evidence during their thorough investigation, but we weren't adult enough to wait for that. I investigated the chapel my own way, trying to grab the culprit before the police arrived. And when I figured out, it was absolutely nothing. Frustratingly, I wasn't able to find a single hint. Come on, let's go out, Mariah, we're going. Don't keep staring at it. Ooh. Come, Mariah, someone let us return. It's cold here. Father and Mother, thank you for everything. I will definitely become a man who doesn't betray your expectations. George spoke his last words of farewell to his parents. After seeing that, Battler followed suit. Dad, Kara-san, just look at their faces. It looked like they were sleeping, but that just made it even more painful. Forgive me for leaving you in a cold place like this. I'll definitely get whoever did this, no matter what. What is this? Is this a repulsive scribble? Did the culprit draw it? This is worse than vulgar. How horrible. When the door to the chapel was closed, we learned about that creepy scribble for the first time. When we first found this, it was already drawn here. It must have been made by the culprit. So supposedly the culprit was a witch, and this is a magic circle to summon a demon or something. This is the 7th magic circle of the sun. Don't you even know that? Ouch. Hey, don't always tell you not to make that creepy laugh. Alright, go on. What does it mean? It's a magic circle to escape from physical and mental bonds, and the part written around the circumreference says, "The Lord has freed me from my chains. I will offer you to the sacrifice of thanksgiving, and will call on the name of the Lord in Hebrew." Sacrifice of thanksgiving, so they killed father and the rest use him as a human sacrifices for this magic circle. Calm down, George Gunn. This is the culprit trying to provoke us. I'm sure it doesn't mean anything. Think about rolling poison in the heart. And it looks like there's some English written here. Happy Halloween for Mariah. I get it. And the key to open this door is handed over to Mariah. Is that what's going on? Well, this is a chapel after all. Maybe Mariah doesn't mean Mariah Jane, but the Virgin Mary. And in that case, you could read this as a blasphemy against God in the name of Halloween. They say witches who make contracts with demons sort of defile God's name at all times. In that sense, this really is a witch-like crime. Sounds like you know a lot about it. Did you get that much from Mariah? Yeah, something like that. The chapel, huh? They've written to all the trouble, calling them out here and killing them. Aunt Rose, does this chapel have some special meaning? What do you mean a special meaning? Well, someone carried 6 human corpses all the way here and set up these elaborate decorations. I can't tell if it called the 6 of them over here before killing them, or if she killed them before carrying them over here. But either way, it takes a lot of effort. Why did the culprit want 6 people to die here? True, by doing something that elaborate, there would be an extremely high chance of some disadvantage evidence being found when the police arrive. It is inconceivable that the culprit would fail to realize this. The issue now is why the culprit went all that effort. And that leads us just to one question: what meaning is there to this place where we found the 6 corpses? This chapel was important to Father. And since I was a kid, I was given strict instructions never to enter it. Ooh, I came here once too, got lots of trouble. Ooh. An important chapel. Does it have some connection to Ushimiya had family? I don't know. Father viewed this chapel as very sacred, and he treasured it so much that he had to be decorated several times. But as everyone knows, Father wasn't a devout believer, as his passion for black magic demonstrates. I never heard of him coming here to offer his prayers to God. As far as I know, Master has never come here. We even call this a sealed chapel, and I found it eerie like a haunted house. Even though Father never even approached it himself for some reason, he made the servants give it a major cleaning several times a year. It felt like he kept it clean all the time so that it could be used at any moment. Even so, it's called the sealed chapel. Maybe it's indiscreet to say this, but it doesn't sound that pretty cool, huh? Dr. Nacho, you're no friend of Grandfather's, right? Have you heard anything about it? I did ask him about it once long ago, but I forgot exactly how he dodged my question. That's right, I believe he said something like this. Someday perhaps I too will be able to receive a blessing there, but unless a miracle occurs, that day will never come. What does that mean? What does he do in a chapel? He couldn't mean his own funeral, right? I wouldn't believe that of Kenzo-san. He was a man much more focused on the living now than matters occurring after death. Though this does seem to be the root of the current inheritance problem. Now what would he do in a chapel? Pray? Aren't confessions done in chapel too? Anyway, it sounds suspicious. I don't know the reason, but just as Dr. Nacho said in Grandfather's eyes, all this about not being blessed unless a miracle occurred was set in stone as far back as this chapel's construction. How do you know that? See, it's clearly written over there. Look, right there. George and Nikki point to a relief with thrusted gold letters on the arch above the door. It looked like some message had been written in their English. The rest made it clear that message has been there ever since the chapel's construction. I'm not that good with English. What is it? The store is opened, only at probability of. Sorry, my English sucks. I gave up after failing to finish even the first of the two lines. It looked like the others could read it properly. I think it went MBTQ, so, how many times does that mean? Anyway, this is incredible. Adding up all the fingers on both hands doesn't even get you close. It really would be impossible unless a miracle occurred. Certainly, it's quite reminiscent of the old Kenzo-san who loved using gambling as a metaphor whenever he got the chance. Hey, come on, can everyone read it? Someone tell me what it means too. You've got to at least learn English. How did you get to high school without even being able to read this much? Ouch. 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 Mind your own business, so what's written there? Simply put, it means something like this. Unless a miracle occurs, this door will never be open. Unless a miracle occurs, you will never be blessed. Grandfather's magic is based on astronomically low probabilities. In other words, a miracle for opening this door would probably require an incredible vast amount of magical power. Ouch. Nice job, you can shut up now. Rosa-san, did you have more Arctic English classes? Looks like it's useless to try and learn English unless you start when you're young, after all. The steel chapel, sitting aside whether she was a witch or not, his room at the beach actually existed several decades ago, and was grandfather's mistress. This is just my imagination, but perhaps that master truly did love Beatrice Sama. However, he was already married, so they couldn't be united. I see. If Beatrice was dead and could be revived with the magic of a miracle, then now that grandmother's dead, he could marry her openly. And if they married in this chapel, he might end up being a pretty fairy tale-like story, right? I don't think that story is so preposterous. It's a well-known fact that the father still loves Beatrice deeply. Also, even though I said I found it creepy, I seem to remember that the interior of the chapel was quite magnificent. The fact that father built this chapel in hopes of having a wedding with his dead mistress might not be that unlikely. By the time he built this chapel, grandfather probably knew that he would never use it as a church as long as he lived, but he prayed for the wish to be revived by some miracle, and though that if the miracle occurred, they could be married here. I see. If you think of it that way, this would be a place of utmost significance to Beatrice as well. Even though he knew the chapel would never be open, it is a story of tragic love. Even though Goda-san was even bigger than me, his words were touching. I didn't want to silent, but it seemed that they agreed with that view. Even though he knew of his chapel would never be open, he still probably dreamed of the day that a miracle would occur. Kenzo-san was quite the romantic in his younger days. I think I understand how he felt. I wonder then again, everyone went in 4 times a year to clean it, right? So much for it being the steel chapel. Didn't we just go in ourselves? This was a miracle or anything. We brought the key, click, and we're in. That's all. This is ridiculous. Huh? What? Then what does that mean? What are you talking about? As far as I could tell, I just been joking around, finding myself in a bit irritated by the sub-story that was turning into. But then Aunt Rosa suddenly jumped on me with a really serious face. Aunt Rosa's face grew increasingly pale. She looked at the magic circle on the door and then at her hand back and forth, back and forth. What is the matter, Rosa-sama? Hey, Goda-san, the key to this chapel. Then, can't you say it? He said there's only one. Huh? It took you all the way too long to figure it out. When a kid pulls a prank, it sometimes goes unnoticed by adults, and the kid who did it gets all disappointed. If such a prank didn't get sprung on so much later, it can really make a kid stay. Mariah's celebration just now looked a lot like that. Yes, that's right. There's only one of those keys. It's the key to the Master's Treasure Chapel, so there's only one with no duplicates. It is only kept safe in the key box in the servant room, but... That's right, because your son said it gone missing. So someone stole it, put it in an envelope, and handed it to Mariah, and they did that yesterday. So in other words, is it that strange? That's absurd. This is getting bizarre. What do you mean? I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Me neither. What would you explain it for us? Goda and Angel's failure to understand definitely wasn't because he was stupid. They didn't know. They didn't know how long the only key to the chapel had been in Mariah's possession. There's no mistake. It was locked up. I unlocked it. There's no doubt. Aunt Rosa kept closing the door, locking it, and pulling in the check lock and opening it again. Her face was becoming pale again. Until I took the key out of Mariah's envelope and opened this door, it was definitely locked, but this key was an envelope and placed in Mariah's care, and that happened yesterday before noon. What did you say? That doesn't make any sense. You're right. Mariah received a one-of-a-kind key from a woman calling herself a witch midday yesterday. In other words, from midday yesterday until this morning when Rosa's son unlocked the door, the chapel was a closed room. How did they get the 6 people in here, and how did they kill them? Oh, guys, sorry about that, guys. I had to sneeze real bad. Okay, the deaths of 6 people have shaken us badly. When we learned about this weird magic circle in the history of the chapel, we felt as though we figured at least part of this puzzle out. But that was all absolutely trivial. From midday yesterday until this morning, this chapel was a closed room, but our parents were still with us until last night. How did the culprit get into this building, and how did they get locked it up again? What are you trying to pull again? A closed room again? Are you trying to say you unlocked it with the power of magic? Don't take me for a fool. So does he, momentarily remember everything from, the past or something? I don't know. Because if he remembered everything, he would just tell everybody, but I don't know. If they made that shit, you'd have unlocked with power, I wouldn't mind, but that wouldn't be the same as me forcing you to surrender. You keep trying to explain it with all humans, only would have quartered all your theories completely will I have my victory. Come now, how will you undermine my defenses? What trick could this human have used to defeat them? It's just like the closed rooms like last time, not enough information. It's impossible to reason like this. Any excuse to be made, any trick could work. There's no way to reason it out. That again. There's not enough information, so you'll wait and see. Your information is uncertain, so it's impossible to use your reasoning. How this always excuse you humans use to let yourself stop thinking. Who do you think you are, a lowly human? Are you saying that you came in and think, unless you're like Laplace's demon, you incompetent fool? Besides, you make it seem like a lack of information works against you, but it's the other way around, you see. The more information you're given, the more it will make you suffer. It only increases the strength of the compressor that's squeezing you. Cackle, cackle. In that case, let me say this. It's impossible to verify that it's the closed room in the first place. If we're already talking about demons, I could play that game too. It'd be impossible to prove that this isn't a closed room. Just show how someone could have gone in and out you've done. But it's impossible to prove that this is a closed room. You can never deny the endless set of possible methods for getting in. In other words, it's one of those devil's proofs. This concept of closed room is actually something that can never be proved. So if you first stop thinking with a lack of information as an excuse of now this, very well. If that is your move, then I will accept it. Continue. First of all, it looks like you're trying to claim that it's just chapel's a closed room. Just a short while ago, I spent some time looking around in there, and I couldn't find any way in or access for the door. But that just means I couldn't find one. It doesn't prove that it was a closed room. If there's a hidden door or something that I was able to find, your premise would be blown away completely. In other words, whether I managed to find a hidden door or not, you'll never be able to deny that there exists some method X that let you in the closed room. And this method X would be something that would carried out without magic. I thought it's a hidden door. I'm sure that in this chapel there's some hidden door that's impossible to find. That's why there's no reason for me to reason it out, and magic is still impossible. So you'll use that logic, cackle, how naive. And then expect a move. Let me make my move in response. When these closed rooms using detective novels made by mere humans always seem utterly ridiculous to me. Why? Because they're used the wrong way. When a closed room appears in a detective novel, do you really think it's a closed room? You don't, do you? What trick do they use to make this look like a closed room? That's what you think. In other words, there hasn't been a completely closed room in any of the closed room murders that humans have built over the last century. Oh, better not say that unless you want to face the wrath of my mystery fans. Chrissy's probably grinding her teeth in her grave. But I am different. I have given birth to a true closed room. And I can demonstrate it. Why? Because I'm a witch. For the devil's proof, you only had to bring someone a demon to prove that they exist, correct? Well, I conveniently happen to be a witch, meaning that demons are my good friends, and I can bring you as many of them as you like. Sounds great. Dad and the rest use the hidden door to enter the chapel or carry them through it. How do you plan to beat that move? With this. Regardless of whether they were alive or dead, the 6 definitely entered through the room. Huh? Dumbass. The door was locked, so how'd they do it? I opened it with magic and invited them inside. That can't be true. Since I can't accept magic, there's no way I'll accept that. You're lying. That door can be opened with some trick. Or maybe there's a hidden door, but I won't accept any other ways. For a perpetual check, there's what we call an endless repetition of moves in chess. It's the same endless repetition as the discussion that won't advance because both sides deny the basis of each other's claims, like our game. In most games, this would resolve as a draw, but that would put a terrible damper on our fun. We will have no draws. You will either accept me and submit to me, or you will deny me. At least I have agreed with you there. We'll settle this without fail, just as you wish. Cackle, cackle. I like that attitude. So I had a thought. I think I'll add a new rule to this game between the two of us. A new rule, albeit it's something that'll give you an advantage, right? Of course not. I'll give you the abstaining people like you always demand. The reason you always stop thinking and moan about it is lack of information. And if you get then given enough information, you start doubting whether the information is true or not by rejecting the source. Is it that convenient with clever little words to hide your own incompetence? I'm offering to eliminate that convenient excuse of yours. You should think of me, Cackle. You said they entered through the door and I said that couldn't happen. Are you calling me that an evasive answer? Exactly. So from now on, when I speak the truth, I will use red. What is this? Keep explaining. No matter what magic move I use, you can always keep running away by checking on lack of information and reject the source. Even though it's so, and in the end, the way it would be extremely boring. Because of that, I said I'd be happy to. I give you the information. Okay, I'm a source you desire. However, you'll probably doubt each word I say. That is so. Is it bad in itself? I will also use every possible move to make you submit. I don't dislike our poster of searching out our best moves for our own goals. But that won't make a game, so I set up this rule. Everything I speak in red is the truth. There is absolutely no need to doubt it. Are you telling me to believe that? This is a game between you and me, and again, the rules are sacred. Those who take that lightly are not qualified to play. Okay, I get you all accept that rule. Even in elementary school, kicking it into an endless argument and finding fault with everything. Then let's start it up again, continuing where we left off. I'll say it one more time. Dad and the rest use a hidden door to enter the chapel, or were carried away and through it. Now I shall repeat what I said, regardless of whether they were alive or dead. The six definitely entered through the door. Is there any proof? Stop, I will supplement the rule. When I speak the truth, I will use right, and when I do, I will not bear the responsibility of establishing my claim by showing proof. They will simply be facts of truth. My reason is simple, to carry out all the crimes with magic, so for any impossible crime, all I have to do is wing my magic staff and show you how it's done. But that wouldn't make a game. It would be as barbaric as ignoring the victory and defeating a chess match and punching your opponent in the face. Well, that makes sense. Since you're a witch, there's no need for you to show evidence for what happened. Since you can do anything in the magic game and talk about an unfair game. So, shall we resume once more? The six definitely entered through the door. I unlocked the magic. How will you get around this magic this closed room? The key, Guji-san and others said there was only one key, but that's impossible to prove. The culprit secretly made a duplicate key. Cackle, cackle. Only one key to the chapel exists. Arg, and what about this? The culprit made something other than a legitimate key and opened it. I don't know, but maybe a wire, a tool for picking locks. What is this how you move? It is impossible to unlock the lock to the chapel without anything but the chapel's key. Unlock can be opened with the power of magic, right? Then what about this? There's something wrong with the door itself. There's some way to pass through it even when it's locked. As to what it is, I can think of a few ways. Maybe it's like those big doors in a castle that have a small door in them. And it's also possible that they removed the hinges and then removed the whole door before entering. Well, is this the best that such a human wisdom can manage, Battler? When the door to the chapel is locked, it prevents any and all methods of entry or exit. Assuming you can't use magic, right, Cackle? It is all about time for checkmate. Not even close. You said those six people entered through a door, but you didn't say it was front door. They might have entered through another door, a secret one. You talked to him as you incompetent fool. Let me explain on my earlier move. The six definitely entered through this front door. That's screwed up. The door was locked. It was impossible to unlock it using that single key, and yet six people entered through it. How? With the magic you say. Damn it. Well, are we already saying the limits of the humanity can manage? Then shout that as you resign. When one admits defeat, it's customary to shut it out and knock over their own king. So that you resign, then announce your surrender and knock over your king by kneeling. Then may you kiss my shoes. There could be no greater joy than forcing a man like you to lick my shoes. Cackle, 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 cackle. Damn it, it's useless. It's okay, I went against the witch. It's isn't just at all. I just been made to take the losing side on the chess puzzle, and it's quibbling about details and gonna draw the best I can manage. That's the one thing that'll never happen. Either I will surrender or you will. There can be no other resolution. What happened to that bravery you displayed when you said this would be torture for both of us? Hey, what a disappointment, what a total letdown when you say you show me a battler. Damn it, what should I do? I can see the place where I'll face checkmate. It's useless. All my hard-fought moves have been nothing more than me desperately moving my king around, running from my check. No matter how many times I move, I can't escape from check. So even without waiting for the next several moves, I can see myself checkmate in the future. Damn it. After a few more moves, I can see where I'll face checkmate. Don't give up, you sure owe me a battler. If I see myself getting close in a pawn, and if I spin the chessboard around, I should be able to anticipate her next move, right? Remember what Kari sounds sad when you're thinking about something, and the closer you get to the very, very end, the easier it becomes to anticipate. Spin it around, spin the chessboard around. What happened? You fell sullen of a sudden. Fear not, surrender is but a momentary shame. After all that remains is the joy of entrusting your fate entirely to the hands of your new master. Cackle, 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 come on, carry on resignation. I can't hear you. Speak up and say clearly. Enough babbling. You're just refusing to listen. So I'll say it once more. I won't resign. Continue. Resume the game. Oh, very well. It's your turn after all. Cackle, cackle. I made the mistake of thinking this rule you made was your own weapon. However, I realized that it can also become a weapon for me. It all comes down to this. Please still give it a try. I've been focused all this time on how they entered the closed room of the chapel. That approach was useless. It's useless. It's all useless. Spin the chessboard around. That's right. I was thinking about it backwards. This is how I should approach it. How was the chapel, which was a closed room in the first place, but it looked like a closed room. Here it comes, a thinking technique humans gave birth to over the course of a century. Give it a try, cackle, cackle. Say this is red for me. If you can't, then refuse. Here I go. Does this man intend to reverse his defensive posture and impudence? I get the only way to enter the chapel is through the door, and there's only one key. But wait, the question is whether the key really is handed over to Mario yesterday before noon. My, but you're dragging this on. Don't try to get to the point. It's something like this. We've been under the impression that the keys have been unusable since midday yesterday, so you've assumed that this was closed room for midday since yesterday, blah, blah, blah. I want to hear you say that impression of ours is solid fact. Interesting. So your reason not to the door, but to the key. Yesterday, Mariah received an envelope from you. She didn't open it, but she might have felt it and known where the key was inside. But it's not like she'd been able to confirm it absolutely was the key to the chapel. Here's what I'm getting at. The thing inside the envelope given to Mario is fake. If you think about what you're saying, it's ridiculous. This morning, I definitely took an envelope out of Mariah's handbag, and from that, I obtained a genuine key to the chapel. And was that fake as you suggested? Hehe, I know that much. I'll continue. In that case, when Mariah first received the envelope, the thing inside was definitely the same key to the chapel, right? Oh, see what I'm getting at? Mayday yesterday you gave Mariah an envelope with the key inside, and you told her that she mustn't open it. Mariah probably realized she had the key inside. Later, Aunt Rosa used the key inside the envelope, the door to the chapel. And that's why we assumed there was a key to the chapel all along. This is the suspicious part. So is this what you're trying to say? This is what you're trying to say when I entrusted Mariah to the key, it was fake? And by the end of the time, I was obtained that it had been switched to the real thing. Yeah, that's it. What's wrong with you, Sama? You've been looking a bit pale for a while now, huh? Sorry guys, I'm half paying attention now. Sorry. Okay, I gotta do this, okay. Those close to me sometimes call me Beato. I'm still gonna say Beato. You don't say Beatrice, you say Beatrice. So, Beato will do. It's your turn, Beato. At the turn of the Golden Witch, let's see. You dodged this. Very well. The key to the chapel truly was up to inside the envelope I gave Mariah. I'll move forward. Can you repeat that in red? The envelope was completely under Mariah's supervision until Aunt Rose opened it. If you can't say it, then you refuse. Check. I refuse. I spun all around with just one move. Now, if it's your key on the run, Beato, I have a reason for refusing. In regards to the definition of the phrase under her supervision and the first meaning, Mariah would need to have her eyes on her on the clock for that to be true. But Mariah didn't go that far. It may have been completely under her supervision when it took it out of her handbag, but after she put it inside, it disappeared from her field of vision. In that sense, the phrase under her supervision would have been inappropriate, so I couldn't use it right nothing more. No. I bet that move hurt, and your face is what you guess the next one. Sorry, I'm kind to women. I don't hurt them. And I never betray a woman's expectations. It's time for you to repeat and read if you think you can. No one was able to touch Mariah's handbag until Rosa took out the envelope. I will also refuse this one. I won't explain the reason. That's wrong. It's not that you won't explain it. It's because you can't explain it. That move gives us checkmate, doesn't it? No. If you can't do it, then I'll explain. The key to the chapel was an envelope handed to Mariah. Then Mariah put it in her handbag, and next morning Rosa took it out and opened the lock. However, Mariah didn't have the handbag under her complete supervision. There's no need for magic. It's a closed room trick that's possible for a human. The human culprit handed Mariah the key, and by making Aunt Rosa use it the next morning, they created the illusion that there was a closed room during that time. You can't deny the possibility that during that time, the culprit took the key from Mariah's handbag, used it, returned it by morning. Can you say it in her head? Repeat it if you can say it, then say it. It's check again. And then I removed the check. The envelope was the seal. It should have been sealed with wax. Rosa took it from an unopened envelope. Really, then try saying it. Repeat it. The envelope handed over midday yesterday, and when it was opened on the same thing. Now that I can repeat, the envelope I handed over to Mariah, and then one was opened on the same thing. It's all useless. That doesn't even matter anymore. I expected more from you. I figured that if you were a bit better at reading between the lines, you'd resign right there. So I'm disappointed. You betrayed my expectations. What? Who cares if the envelopes were the same? Envelopes could be sealed with wax over and over. The key inside is what's important. No. This time it's all over, Golden Witch. It's a real checkmate. I'll say it one more time. Repeat it. If you can say it, try saying it. The key to the chapel until the envelope Mariah received wasn't used even once until Rosa opened the envelope. Oh, how can I? I'll guess a lonely human. I'll keep on saying it, Beatrice. Repeat it. The key to the chapel outside the envelope Mariah received wasn't used even once until Rosa opened that envelope. Nicole, if you're going to yell and say you resign, this settles it. This is the truth. Before I attained the Mariah's key this morning, I wanted to pass down to someone else's hands. The key used it, resealed it, returned it to Mariah's handbag, make it look like it had been used. This is a trick with the cheap loophole, the assumption that the key wasn't used because the sealing wax wasn't open. Checkmate. That's all magic. There's nothing more than a trick that's impossible for humans. In that case, who do you say sold the key? Try answering. This time you try repeating it. That's right, I'm making you repeat things all the time. I probably have to answer every once in a while. But I refuse. My condition for victory is denying of which's existence. I'll prove that it's impossible crime. Down with their magic's actually possible by human hands. I smashed your closed room with something impossible even for humans. However, I won't specifically investigate who the culprit is, because I believe in humans, because I definitely won't accept that there's a person among us who would steal the key from Mariah, use it, and do something so horrible. Give up, I resign. Just once. This for the skirmish, I give up. But you really are naive, battler. Parting remarks are loser's privilege. Say as many as you like. Since you continue to deny my existence, you will eventually be cornered. After all, since you deny me, you will suspect those relatives that you can't stop loving. In the last moment, when you have to suspect one who is beloved to you, then you will surely accept my existence. Kako, you truly have defeated me in this skirmish alone. However, that naive logic will definitely destroy you. You can't win against me after all. You're me a battler. Okay, guys, I will be ending the video here. So, I will see you guys later.